Now, the good news is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. First carry for Trenton Cannon. Dancing away at the fighting through, and he's got space. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll check on his status. When we get back. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Here's Fields. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And right away he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This taken in at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
On second down, Elliott once more. Elliott a first down and more. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. And he fires one incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Prescott now from the 50. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down. On 4th down, out is the punter Cameron Johnston to boot it away. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, here's Fields. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Wright. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
The deuce is wild here. 2nd down and 2 with just about 2 minutes on the clock. Elliott. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Throwing, Prescott. He'll get this to Elliott. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
Trying to run it in with Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball, try and get things settled down a little bit.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On the handoff, this is Cannon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. These 2 teams all tied after 1. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
1st down, Prescott. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and trying not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Toss left to Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is taken in one-handed. What a catch. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
Boy, that completion comes with a high degree of difficulty, especially on the catch. Had to look that one in one-handed, able to do so, and ends up picking up a 1st down as well.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They'll run it with Elliott. At first glance, I wasn't sure he got it. Then I saw that spot. Definitely a 1st down.
It was, but boy, on the other side, you dispute it a little bit, wouldn't you? Okay, if you're playing defense, are you sure he got there? But that's why they tell you all the time, don't just get what you need, get a little bit more, and take the decision out of the hands of the officials.
Oh, there he needed a yard. He got a yard and maybe an inch. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Prescott. And oh, what a catch.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They come up in a 2 tight end look here. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. This no good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Pulls it in at the 13. Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, a run with Cannon. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Fields on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Foster. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now Fields. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Santos' kick is up and through. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it. And he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
2nd and 10. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Prescott. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
10th carry now for Elliott. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Run of the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. A 1st down throw for Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Prescott. And he's got it. Touchdown. Oh, but there is a marker on the field. So now the question, who is this on? And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. And let's check on the call. James Daniels, the guard, called for the penalty there. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And some space here. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Fields now to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On third down, here's Cannon. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. One play action, Fields. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The question to be asked, where does this game go from here as we are back at it now on EA Sports? And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Elliott going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Prescott to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Running with Elliott. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field, and he wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
They'll run with Elliott. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Elliott running right. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Prescott now. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oftentimes when you lose in a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Blankenship's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Check 42's the mark. Check 42's the mark. No change. Check 24. Check 24.
They'll start on the ground with Cannon. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game. Or you can come right back and continue to run the football, because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Going deep here for Allen. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it right side with Cannon. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now it's Fields. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And the Cowboys will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Prescott looks to throw on first. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild. And here's another completion for good yardage.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse, Elliott. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Now he's forced out left. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the pistol, here's Elliott. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 76 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys! CeeDee Lamb, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And trailing big here in this fourth quarter. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Fields. On the screen, this is Cannon. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Dancing to his left. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off play action, Fields. He finds his target, Allen. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. A shotgun snap, Fields. And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Under pressure, and they got to him again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Cannon going to try the left side. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They snap it to Fields. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Dallas, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.